A dear person might be very active right now, out in public, on the go, with lots and lots of activities. Or maybe you notice that they are posting a lot about themselves on social media, perhaps about activities or something else. And you ask yourself the question, do they want something from others now? Are they on a flirting course here? Are they interested in other women or men? We are in the collective. Are they totally interested in that? What's going on there? What's happening there with them? Because you suddenly notice a lot of activity from them. And now let's take a look at what the collective reading wants to tell you and what energies are currently available related to this question. And dear ones, we are in the collective. Person cards are gender neutral. This is your counterpart, both male and female. And collective readings may not apply to everyone. And now let's take a look at what's really going on. A very, very firm, heartfelt hug coming to bed. You are so wonderful. You are absolute heart angels. Really, you are simply fantastic. Thank you for your being. I thank you so much for your loyalty here on my channel. And for everyone who has newly joined, it's great that you're here. A warm welcome. I now give you all a very, very, very tight hug because you are just so wonderful. Thank you for being here. So let's see. Oops. Let's see. And a very dear thank you for all your heartfelt and lovely comments. Especially where whatever you write, what is happening or how you are positioned for yourselves. It's just always so nice to see, because also that trust is when you write it into the collective as well. When you also leave comments there, it's for oneself. It feels good for some. And it's also trust. You feel comfortable. And also everyone who doesn't comment, I know you exist, and I know each of you has your own topic, and yes. But I also find this support here for you among each other in the comments simply wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. Above all, the warmth and kindness that you give and offer me, thank you for that. So now let's return to the question about your loved one, whether he is interested in, well, I would say strong, extreme, yes, activities, especially out here, as I said, whether it's social media or ventures, whether he is interested in meeting someone else. This, why is he doing that? Or she? Let's see what's going on there. The Page of Swords, with the page, it is shown that there are conflicts here. There is something, yes, definitely a deception. So it's already starting off well. We have this, something is unjust. Something is going on here, which might also be unjust for him or whatever is happening. As I said, clarity. We will definitely get, that, but there is a conflict. It also has something to do with the truth. Maybe something he doesn't want to look at. Maybe he's also running away from something. Let's take a closer look. In any case, there is a deception here. So something is here that might be shown differently on the outside. Maybe we will look even more closely at what is really going on with your loved one. Then we have the 6 of coins. And 6 of coins is for your loved one already somewhat this aspect of surface, showing something different is also evident here. And there is something, but he also strongly lacks, because we also have a lack. This can be seen in the material sense, yes, but we are now precisely at the question here. So, and there is this deception. So lack, I would say he lacks something. I would like to exclude the material aspect a bit here, but a lack of something from within himself. So there is something here. And selfishness is also shown, yes, but I now see more focus on the lack he communicates. Communication is a very, very, very big issue because there is also some kind of lack here. The one that, yes, up indeed fits, holds, that is shown. Then we also have the Seven of Swords. Phew. Okay, we have a mistake here. And he is perhaps trying to extricate himself from some affair here. He is insincere, definitely to himself. We have deception here again, and there is also an escape. He is insincere. Yes, as if he wants to sneak away because a secret is simmering here. A secret that is perhaps also so insincere. As I said, standing up to himself. Maybe he was also unfair to you. We are in the energy, you too, because you are the one who is watching the video. So it is definitely also about you, among other things. But it could also be that he is perhaps beating around the bush a bit. Maybe you addressed it with him, or he has always done that. But beating around the bush, kind of the whole thing, yes. Perhaps embellishing various things, not getting straight to the point, is generally his theme. It doesn't mean that it's only like that towards you, because maybe you currently have no contact with each other. And we will see what else is shown there. Yes, indeed. We certainly do have a bit of an somewhat childish behavior from your loved one. Yes, beating around the bush, sneaking out of the affair. I see here is shown here a bit of, yes, we have a little deception maneuver here. But actually the picture here already says it all. But I still want to include a bit of clarification here. All right. Clear picture, although we still... Now we have completed it. So with the person close to your heart, it shows, yes, this, that he likes to fall back a little, maybe a bit of teenage years, like youth, bringing something back. Then on the other hand, I see that he already had that back then. So these are behavior patterns that are quite strongly present in him, as if they are ingrained, that they always come in repetition. It might be a few weeks, a few months, not, but they come always when he or she is in a state of lack. The lack is also shown, the lack of self-confidence. There we have the big issue. And it's like this, when he doesn't quite manage something, when he doesn't get the attention, maybe problems here in the financial area. It could also be professional or both together, that there are issues when he perhaps feels excluded, left out. When he notices something, wow, I was betrayed here, I was lied to, I wasn't seen, I wasn't given attention. I was maybe fooled here, I was. Yes, I was threatened, I was lied to. The good nature of a person dear to the heart, exploited, a deceitful game was played. And when such things happen, he falters because I have no stability. His self-confidence is completely shattered here. And there is a massive lack of self-worth. And he gets all of this from outside. That means your dear one needs, in order to boost his ego and to be seen, to get attention. And ultimately, he needs the public. That's where he presents himself. He is an entertainer. He entertains incredibly well and needs this presence time outwardly. Completely different. When you notice, wow, he's in a good mood, he's got a vibe, and he has fun there and there and there. Inside, it looks completely different. Inside, I have the torn feelings, the confusion, the imbalance. And he gets his balance. As I said, he needs the outside They are with him, will present themselves. He needs that very, very much. It's like a drug in a way. Let's put it gently now. Needs a person with heart. These are his own fears. Because he is afraid if he doesn't present himself, if he doesn't show how great he is, what he does, and that he doesn't get, let's say, likes, comments, or is seen in public, when he does activities now that he can present himself here and there, always being the center of attention. If he doesn't get that, if he is in this phase, I would call it a psychological phase. So this imbalance also of his psyche, because we have burdens here that really go far back. How far can I go here? It could be childhood, but can I not interpret this further? In this reading, it is touched upon, and that's what it is. It needs to push this again, to push himself again. It's like a energy drink, so to speak. I would say a whole palette that one somehow always needs. And then something like flying horse in that direction. That's what your heart needs as a human. He needs the validation from outside so he can show himself. And it's also like this, for example, if we take the example of likes, because I also have this clicking here, so likes, this validation, either in word form, word and writing, or simply that he is seen. And we also have the issue here, if it doesn't fulfill the volume, this amount, I would say then. He becomes insecure again. Was something wrong there, or should I have edited the picture again? And immediately follows up with the next one. This really has to do with his inner self because I have him completely torn apart. So, and what also comes into play, that's what makes him happy. But I have completely wrong thinking, wrong actions, wrong perspectives. Because he is also afraid to fully embrace himself as he is running away from himself. I have him more floating on the surface. Regarding the question of whether this is about another woman, whether there is an interest in meeting another woman or another man, and therefore making contacts or presenting himself here, I can tell you definitely no. I see this completely in falsehood here. That is also a wrong perspective from you, if he is seen that way. Because with him, even if it might seem like others might perceive it as he's flirting now, or, oh cool, he's doing this for us now, back and forth. He's not doing it for anyone else. In the end, he's only doing it for himself. And he doesn't want to flirt either because his heart is closed due to overcrowding. Overcrowding, because you are in his heart. And I have you and your beloved from the past. I have the connection between the two of you. I have the closeness. I have the physical closeness. So even if you say you haven't been, or if you say you haven't been in a committed relationship, I have the physical closeness. I have touch, which can also be a hug. But I have meetings. I have this regularity and repetition several times a day. I have phone calls. I have the language very strongly present. And there too, the connection, this familiarity. I have a lot in the private sphere between the two of you because I have the love from your side to him, your beloved person. And from your beloved person, I also have the love for you. So, as I said, for some, I also have sexuality, but it doesn't have to be. But I definitely have physical closeness. I have touch. And if so, I also have phone calls, but for a long time. So I don't have it where you would say, okay, you just sent a quick voice message, but I really have it regularly, like daily or several times a week, maybe even in the evening hours. This, he finds peace. You find peace. I have the phone calls between the two of you, this togetherness, especially this familiarity, completely this familiarity and also this consistency between the two of you. And it is also quite possible that it was purely just a friendship between you, but even then the activities in a friendship. And there was also in the conversations when you talk to each other, this closeness, this connection was very strong, as I said, if you were not in a relationship. But I felt the connection, as I said, very strongly. I felt this togetherness, this familiarity, and you also had very intimate conversations, very personal, very intimate, because he really confided in you and didn't just keep it superficial. And that also adds to the whole situation, because for him, an avalanche has come in here, an avalanche that what once existed between you in terms of love, your relationship, the connection between the two of you has come completely back into focus. And the heart, because I mentioned it earlier, closed due to being overwhelmed, has now come back from thawing mode, meaning it has truly completed the thawing process and has said, yes, look, here I am, right? So now let's go. It can continue because I have the love very intensely, very strongly between the two of you. I have the connection. I have this togetherness. I have the consistency. I have the greatness between the two of you. No matter the reason, it ended here, but it never completely stopped between the two of you. I have your connection so intensely because I stick so intensely, so strongly. And yes, a solid life partnership. These are the connections that you both feel with each other. Yes, I do have you kind of in a decision-making phase right now, where you then say, yes, wait a minute, boy, listen up. If you keep presenting yourself here all the time, in public and so on, you can just discreetly slide past my little behind here. Because with you, I see that you want this stability, you want consistency, and you no longer want a poser who needs all that. Because you say you want clarity, you want a clear line, you want clear structure in all of this, and you can no longer really assess him in your heart. For people, it's like this Hans gets hit hard, namely here again, caught by the avalanche or a hurricane, depending on the situation. We can take anything in this area here because he or she feels it strongly. He actually feels that you are the perfect counterpart for him. And he knows it, and he already knew it back then when you might have already been in the relationship, but never really saw it, always pushed it away and kept closing himself off because he lacks trust in himself and the trust to completely open up, let go, and allow himself to fall. This is indeed a major issue for us. Here it lies. As I said, he has a major issue with himself. And now it also leads to this, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So you're there, but somehow he becomes completely insecure about what he can actually do. Because he already knows that he messed up quite a bit with what was once between you two. Maybe he quietly slipped out of the affair here, but he also doesn't want to be confronted about anything here, also regarding his activities. Because if he's confronted about it now, whether it's by you or someone else, like, is there something not quite right with you? Because you always present yourself this way, then I have a bit of an excuse ready. It was already like that back then, making excuses, pushing things aside, always showing something else on the outside. Basically, I found him very, very, very vulnerable, really very vulnerable. And that's how it is outwardly. Showing something else and then, no, I can't be hurt, and so on. So, as I said, no interest in someone else, that you are going on a flirtation course with someone here. And I also don't have him saying, man, I want to, not you, but those outside here, I want to do something good and let you all be part of it because I like you all so much, everyone together. I really don't see him like that, not at all. Lying in the lie, this presentation outside, it's just deception, false pretense in that direction. And basically, I only see him as someone who gets his ego stroked, who gets his ego boosted, who gets the attention and the recognition. So I see him a bit as a show-off, lying outside. But what is not a facade here and where he is not a show-off is where his heart says, hey, you're in there. You are very, very, very deeply in my heart, and I have the connection with you. And he wants to go into healing. He knows you are his healing. You can help him with that because he feels it, even if you currently have no contact. Or now again, on another level, perhaps in contact, your heart's person feels that you are absolutely for him. The number one, you are the ultimate, the absolutely perfect counterpart. because you give love, you show him, you give him these positive feelings. You have this positive energy that he had completely lost for quite some time, the positive energy, because I have surrounded him here with negative energy from one disaster to the next, and nothing is really working out. Everywhere there are problems, uncertainties, unrest, anger, misunderstandings. He is not understood. And this heaviness, and as I said, lies and intrigues, exploiting falsehood, this whole program. But you were always honest and you always gave from the bottom of your pure heart. So, as I said, with other people here, or that he somehow has an interest now, hey, I want to get to know you. No, he does all this purely just for himself. He doesn't want to get to know anyone else. He doesn't want to do anything good for anyone else, only for himself, his ego. So I would say you can now smile to yourself. Whether you still want him, of course, is another question. Because I see you can't cope with all of this here. So this is a topic for you where you say no, actually a bit of a no-go. So let's take a look now. Now let's continue. With love, I always find it really beautiful. The cups, I really like them a lot too. We now have the Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups. We have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, yes. Your beloved is also quite jealous and maybe a bit moody as well. As I said, because it's not quite how he wants it now, he desperately tries again and again to get attention from others. But I also see your beloved very, very strongly because he sees the beauty in you. Together with you, full of beauty and also your good mood. So maybe you are in contact and you are simply yourself and in a good mood and this and back and forth. So not this heaviness and everything so bad. And the pessimism with him, I sometimes see a bit of pessimism creeping in, but you are not like that. And as I said, he feels that you always have absolutely positive energy and you make him feel good. You radiate good mood, especially to him. It definitely awakens a good mood in him. And even if it's a memory of when you both had contact with each other, in any case, your special someone is really connecting with it, as we have already seen, which is again evident regarding the relationship between the two of you. And he's already going into this mode, also thinking about it. And as I said, he occasionally slips back a little bit because he's like in an in-between world right now. In this in-between world where he is really trying to get himself out, to maneuver out, to bring a straight line into the whole thing. So we have this beauty, as I said, that you see in yourself, especially what I find beautiful, the connection you had or have with each other, have again, depending on the situation, collectively. And I find that really, really great because he is there. Yes, NBC, listening to the language of the heart. And also there, slowly I'll start again, also to the heart, the language of the heart, giving it attention. So then we have the Ace of Wands. So your beloved will indeed take the opportunity to do something here, to change the whole situation, especially to let everything flow more into the heart, to move into activity, which also concerns the connection with you. Because he knows, as I said, you are his happiness. Even if he is a bit aimless right now, I see him very clearly. Always looking back and dreamy. Looking back, Isa, and dreamily in your direction, the connection with you. What you once had together, how much you mean to him, and the feelings of happiness you always evoke in him or her. Just a little bit more uncertain, yes, but there's momentum coming in. Momentum in love, and especially the new momentum for change. Even if he pauses for a moment in the in-between world and takes a snack break, but a snack is eventually finished too. Well, and then it continues, my dears. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I wish you a wonderful day.